Before we start today, I want to ask you something. Can you tell me what you did yesterday? Simple question, right? But for many English learners, that one question can feel very scary. Your mind goes blank, you forget the words. You know what happened, but you do not know how to say it in English. Sound familiar?
If that is you, stay right here, because today we're going to fix that. By the end of this episode, you will know exactly how to talk about yesterday in English. Simple words, real sentences, and easy practice.
I am Emma,
And I'm James.
and you are listening to Mr. English Podcast, your friendly place to learn real, everyday English. We are so happy you are here today.
And if this is your first time with us, welcome. We make English simple, warm, and easy to understand. So please hit that subscribe button right now. It helps us so much.
Yes, and share Mr. English Podcast with one friend today. Maybe a friend who also wants to learn English. One share can change someone's learning journey.
Okay, Emma, let us begin. And I want to start with a small story, a real moment that I think many of our listeners will understand.
Oh yes, please. I love your stories.
So last week, I was at a small coffee shop, and the person at the counter, very friendly, she smiled and said, "Hi, how are you? What did you do yesterday?" And I just stood there.
Oh no, James.
I knew the answer. I went to the park, I cooked dinner, I watched a movie, simple things. But in that moment, with her looking at me and waiting, I could not find the words fast enough. I said, yesterday I park? And she smiled very kindly and said, "Oh, nice."
She was sweet.
She was very sweet. But walking away, I thought, I need to learn how to say this better. And that is what today's episode is about.
And I love that story because it is so real. This happens to so many people. You know the words separately, park, cook, watch, yesterday, but putting them together in a real moment, that's the hard part.
Exactly. So today, we're going to make that easy.
Yes, we are going to talk about how to use the past tense in a very simple and natural way. We are going to use real everyday sentences, and we're going to practice together like a real conversation.
And the best part? The words we use today are very common. You will hear them every single day.
So, let us start from the very beginning. The most important thing to understand is this. When we talk about yesterday, we use the past tense.
Past tense. That sounds big, but it's not scary.
No, not at all. Here's the simple idea. Right now, today, we say things like, I eat breakfast, I go to work, I watch TV. But yesterday, everything changes just a little.
Yes, I eat becomes I ate. I go becomes I went. I watch becomes I watched. See, just a small change, but it tells people this happened before. This is finished. This is in the past.
And the good news is that most everyday verbs are very simple in the past tense. You just add ed at the end.
Like, I walk becomes I walked. I cook becomes I cooked. I talk becomes I talked. I call becomes I called.
Easy, right? Just add ed and you're done.
Now, some verbs are a little different. We call them irregular verbs. These do not follow the ED rule, but don't worry, we'll go through them slowly with real examples.
Yes, and today we are only focusing on the most common ones, the ones you'll use every day. So let us start talking. James, tell me, what did you do yesterday? For real this time, not just park.
Okay. Yesterday was actually a very simple day for me. I woke up early, around 6 in the morning.
I woke up. That's the past tense of wake up. Very common, very useful.
Yes, I woke up and the first thing I did was make coffee. I love coffee in the morning. I made coffee and I sat at the window for a little while.
That sounds peaceful. I made coffee. I sat at the window. Two more past tense verbs there. Make becomes made. Sit becomes sat.
Yes, and after my coffee, I got dressed. I ate some bread with butter. Very simple breakfast.
Get becomes got. Eat becomes ate. And then what?
Then I went to work. I left the house around 8. The bus came on time, which was great. I arrived at the office, said good morning to everyone, and started my day.
Okay, so many verbs in that one part. Let's slow down and hear them. Go becomes went. Leave becomes left. Come becomes came. Arrive becomes arrived. That one's regular, just add D. Say becomes said. Start becomes started, also regular.
See, some are regular, some are irregular, but they all fit together very naturally in a sentence.
And honestly, when you hear them in a real story like this, it's much easier to remember them.
That's exactly why we do it this way. Real stories, real sentences, not just lists.
So, James had a normal morning, but what happened at work? Was it a good day?
Honestly, not completely. I had a small problem in the morning. I forgot my notebook at home. I needed it for a meeting. I looked for it on my desk, in my bag, everywhere. Then I realized it was at home on the table.
Oh no, that kind of morning.
Yes, I felt a little stressed, but my coworker helped me. She gave me some paper and a pen, and the meeting went fine in the end.
I love that moment because it's so relatable. Let's look at those verbs. Have becomes had, forget becomes forgot, need becomes needed, regular, look becomes looked, regular, realize becomes realized, regular, feel becomes felt, give becomes gave, go becomes went.
So even a small stressful moment gives us so many useful verbs to practice.
Exactly. And I want to add something here. When you tell a story about yesterday, you don't always need to say yesterday again and again. You say it once at the beginning, and then the past tense tells people this is in the past.
That's a great point. Like I can say, yesterday was a simple day. I woke up early, I made coffee, I went to work. I only said yesterday once, but the whole story is in the past because all the verbs are past tense.
Yes, that sounds natural. That's how real people talk.
Okay, Emma, now your turn. What did you do yesterday?
Oh, yesterday was a mixed day for me. Good parts and not so good parts.
Oh, tell me everything.
So I woke up late. That was the first problem. My alarm rang, but I turned it off and went back to sleep. Big mistake.
We've all done that.
I woke up at 9. I was supposed to be ready by 9. So I jumped out of bed, got dressed very fast, did not eat breakfast, and ran to catch the bus.
Oh, no. Did you catch it?
I did not. I missed it by about 2 minutes. I stood at the stop and watched it drive away.
That feeling is the worst.
It is. I stood there for a moment. Then I called a friend. She picked me up and drove me. I arrived late, but not too late.
Okay, good. And after that, did the day get better?
Yes, it did. In the afternoon, something nice happened. I finished a project I was working on for a long time. When I sent it, I felt so good. I sat back in my chair and just smiled.
I love that feeling, that finished something feeling.
It's the best. And in the evening, I cooked dinner at home. I made soup, simple soup, nothing special. But it was warm and I was tired, so it tasted perfect.
Soup after a long day always tastes better than it should.
Always. And then I watched a little TV, read a few pages of my book, and went to sleep early.
That sounds like a real day, a normal human day.
Exactly. And now let us pick out the past tense verbs from my story. I woke up late. Wake becomes woke. My alarm rang. Ring becomes rang. I turned it off. Turn becomes turned. Regular. I went back to sleep. Go becomes went. I jumped out of bed. Jump becomes jumped. Regular. I got dressed. Get becomes drat. I ran to catch the bus. Run becomes ran. I missed the bus. Miss becomes missed. Regular. I stood at the stop. Stand becomes stood. I watched it drive away. Watch becomes watched. Regular. I called a friend. Call becomes called. Regular. She picked me up. Pick becomes picked. Regular. She drove me. Drive becomes drove. I arrived late. Arrive becomes arrived. Regular. I finished a project. Finish becomes finished. Regular. I sent it. Send becomes sent. I felt so good. Feel becomes felt. I sat back. Sit becomes sat. I smiled. Smile becomes smiled. Regular. I cooked dinner. Cook becomes cooked. Regular. I made soup. Make becomes made. I watched TV. Watch becomes watched, regular. I read my book. Read becomes read. Same spelling, but different pronunciation. Yesterday, I read. And I went to sleep. Go becomes went.
That is so many verbs from one simple day.
Yes, and none of those things were special or exciting, just a normal Tuesday. But look how much English we can make from a normal day.
This is the key idea for today. You do not need a big adventure to practice English. Your everyday life is full of material.
Exactly. And when you practice talking about yesterday, you practice the past tense every single day, because every day becomes yesterday.
That is very philosophical, Emma.
Maybe a little, but it is true.
It is true. Okay, so we have talked about how to tell a story about yesterday, but let us also talk about how to answer that question when someone asks you, what did you do yesterday? Because in real life, you need to answer quickly, naturally.
Right, you don't always have time to think for a long time.
So let's practice some short, simple answers, things you can say right away.
Yes, here are some easy ways to start your answer. You can say, yesterday I, and then just finish the sentence. Like, yesterday I worked all day. Or, yesterday I stayed home. Or, yesterday I visited my sister.
Simple and clear. Or you can start with, it was like it was a busy day, it was a quiet day, it was a long day, it was a good day. This gives people a feeling first before you explain.
I really like that because it's very natural. In real conversations, people often give a feeling first, then they give details.
Right, like it was a quiet day, I stayed home, cooked, and rested. That's a full answer, but it's short and easy.
Let's practice together. James, what did you do yesterday? Quick answer.
It was a busy day. I had meetings in the morning, finished some work in the afternoon, and cooked dinner in the evening.
Perfect. Natural and complete. Now you try, listener. Think about your yesterday. Just 3 or 4 simple sentences. What happened? What did you do? What did you eat? Did you go anywhere?
Take a moment, think, and then try to say it out loud or write it in the comments. We want to hear about your yesterday.
Really, we do. Share your yesterday with us. Use past tense. Use simple words. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Not perfect, just real. That's enough.
Now let's talk about something that many beginners find confusing, questions in the past tense, because the way we make questions is a little different.
Yes, this trips a lot of people up, so let's make it very clear.
When we ask a question about the past, we use did, and then the verb goes back to the simple form. No past tense on the verb.
So instead of saying, what did you went, we say, what did you go? The did already shows the past, so the main verb stays simple.
Let's look at some examples. Did you eat breakfast this morning? Not did you ate, just did you eat.
Did you sleep well last night? Not did you slept, just did you sleep.
Did you call your mom yesterday? Not did you called, just did you call.
Where did you go after work? Not where did you went, just where did you go.
What did you eat for dinner? What did you watch on TV? What time did you wake up? Did you have a good day?
See the pattern? Did plus the simple form of the verb, always.
And to answer, it's very easy. Yes, I did. Or no, I did not. Or no, I didn't. Didn't is the short form.
Let's do a small back and forth, like a real conversation. Emma, did you cook yesterday?
Yes, I did. I made soup.
Did you eat alone?
No, I didn't. My sister came over.
Did you watch anything after dinner?
Yes, I did. We watched a movie together.
Did you stay up late?
No, I didn't. I went to sleep early.
Perfect. See how smooth that sounds?
Yes, and notice something. In the answers, I sometimes said more than just yes or no. Yes, I did. I made soup. That extra detail makes the conversation feel natural and warm.
That's a great tip. Don't just say yes or no. Add one small detail. It keeps the conversation alive.
Okay, now let's talk about something else. Negative sentences. How do we say what we did not do yesterday?
This is also very simple. We use did not or didn't, and again, the verb stays in the simple form.
Like, I did not go to the gym yesterday. I didn't call her back. I did not eat lunch. I didn't wake up early. I did not finish my work.
Simple and clear, didn't plus simple verb.
And you can combine these in a story, like, yesterday I woke up late. I didn't eat breakfast. I went to work, but I didn't finish everything. I came home tired. I didn't cook. I just ordered food.
That is such a real day.
Very real. We've all had that day.
And that whole story, it uses both positive past tense and negative past tense together. That's very natural speech.
Exactly. Real conversation is a mix. Some things you did, some things you didn't do.
Okay, let's take a little break from the grammar and just talk, because I think there's something important we should say to our listeners.
What's that?
I think learning past tense can feel difficult at first. There are regular verbs, irregular verbs, questions with did, negatives with didn't, and when you're a beginner, it can feel like too much.
Yes, and I want to say that feeling is normal. Completely normal.
When I first started learning, I made so many mistakes with past tense. I said things like, yesterday I go to the store, and people understood me. They smiled, they responded, life went on.
Yes, mistakes don't stop communication. They're just part of learning.
Exactly. And every time you make a mistake and notice it, you're learning. Every time you try to say something and it comes out a little wrong, but you still say it, you're getting better.
The goal is not to be perfect from day one. The goal is to keep trying. And talking about yesterday is one of the best ways to practice because you always have something to say, every single day.
Yes, this is the best habit. Every morning, ask yourself, what did I do yesterday? And try to answer in English, even just a few sentences, even just in your head.
Or write it down, a small diary in English, just 3 or 4 sentences. Yesterday, I woke up, I went to work, I ate lunch with a friend, I came home tired. That's enough. That's great practice.
And over time, you'll notice something. The words start to come faster, the sentences start to feel more natural, the past tense starts to feel easy.
Because you practiced it every single day. Small practice every day is more powerful than big practice once a week.
I really believe that.
Me too. Okay, let us come back to some more useful words and phrases for talking about yesterday, because sometimes you want to say when something happened during the day, not just that it happened, but when.
Right, time words. These are very helpful.
Yes, let us go through some simple time words you can use when talking about yesterday.
In the morning, like, in the morning I made coffee.
In the afternoon, like, in the afternoon I had a meeting.
In the evening, like, in the evening I cooked dinner.
At night, like, at night I read a book.
Early in the morning, like, early in the morning I went for a walk.
Late at night, like, late at night I finally went to sleep.
Good night. Like, late at night I finally went to sleep.
Good night, James. That was beautiful, really. You heard how natural that sounded.
It's just simple words put together with time markers, but it tells a complete story.
And any listener can do the same thing. Just think about your day from morning to night and add those small time words. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at night.
Your English will sound so much more complete.
Yes. Okay, let us also talk about one more thing, feeling words. Because when you talk about yesterday, you often want to say how you felt. Not just what you did, but how it felt.
Yes, because a story without feelings is just a list of events. The feelings make it human.
Exactly. So let us go through some simple feeling words you can use in your yesterday story.
I felt happy. I felt tired. I felt stressed. I felt relaxed. I felt excited. I felt bored. I felt proud. I felt nervous. I felt grateful. I felt calm.
And you can connect these feelings to moments like, after the meeting, I felt relieved. When I finished the project, I felt proud. By the evening, I felt calm and happy.
Or even, I felt tired all day. I felt a little sad in the morning, but better by the afternoon.
These feeling words add so much to your story, and they're simple. Just, I felt plus the feeling word.
Very easy, very powerful.
And listeners, when you write your comment today, try to include at least one feeling word. Tell us what you did yesterday and how you felt.
Yes, we love reading those.
Okay, let us do one more full practice conversation, this time more natural, like two friends talking.
Perfect. I'll start. Emma, hey, how was your day yesterday?
Oh, it was good, actually. A little busy, but good. I woke up early, had a big cup of tea, and started working from home.
Did you have any meetings?
Yes, one in the morning. It went well. I felt good after it. And then in the afternoon, I took a short break and walked around the neighborhood for a bit.
Oh, nice. Did the weather cooperate?
It did. It was sunny. I didn't expect that. It made me so happy.
I love days like that. What did you eat?
For lunch, I made a salad. Very simple. In the evening, my neighbor brought over some cookies she baked, so that was a nice surprise.
That's the best kind of surprise.
It really is. And at night, I called my mom. We talked for a long time. Then I went to sleep feeling really good.
That sounds like a perfect day.
It was. Not exciting, just nice. What about you?
My day was okay. I went to work early. I had a small problem in the morning, but I fixed it. After work, I met a friend for coffee. We talked for maybe 2 hours.
Oh, nice. Did you go somewhere new?
Yes, we tried a new cafe. It was small and cozy. I liked it very much.
That sounds lovely.
And see, listeners, that whole conversation was just simple past tense. Normal words, normal sentences. Nothing complicated.
That's exactly how people talk about their days. Simple, warm, natural.
And you can do this too.
You really can. Let us now take a moment and review everything we learned today.
Great idea. Let's go through it simply.
Number 1, when we talk about yesterday, we use the past tense. Regular verbs add ed. Walk becomes walked, cook becomes cooked, talk becomes talked.
Number 2, irregular verbs change in different ways. Go becomes went, eat becomes ate, wake becomes woke, come becomes came, have becomes had, make becomes made.
Number 3, to make a question about the past, use did plus the simple form of the verb. Did you eat breakfast? What did you do yesterday?
Number 4, to make a negative sentence, use didn't plus the simple form. I didn't wake up early. I didn't eat lunch.
Number 5, use time words to make your story clearer. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at night. Before work, after work, around noon.
Number 6, add feeling words to make your story more human. I felt happy. I felt tired. I felt relaxed. I felt proud. I felt nervous.
And number 7, the best way to practice is to talk about your real day, every day.
Yes, your life is your classroom.
I love that.
Me too. And before we close, I want to give one simple homework challenge for today.
Oh yes, tell him, James.
Tonight, before you go to sleep, or tomorrow when you wake up, write 5 sentences about yesterday. Just 5. Use past tense, use at least one time word, and use at least one feeling word.
Then come here to the comments and share those 5 sentences with us. We will read them, and we will feel so proud of you.
Because writing those 5 sentences, that is real practice. That is real progress.
And it does not have to be interesting or exciting. Write about your real day, your simple day. That is enough.
Yesterday, I woke up late. I drank coffee. I went to work. I felt tired. In the evening, I cooked dinner. Done. 5 sentences, past tense, real English.
Perfect. That is wonderful. You are doing great.
Okay, it is time to close today's episode. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Really, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. You chose to spend time with us, and that means the world to us.
If you enjoyed today's episode and you learned something new, please subscribe to Mr. English Podcast right now if you have not already.
Yes, and share this podcast with someone you know who is learning English. Share Mr. English Podcast today. One share can help someone else take their next step in English.
And leave us a comment. Tell us about your yesterday. Tell us what you found easy. Tell us what was hard. We read your comments and we love them.
Learning English is a journey. Some days feel easy, some days feel hard. But every day you try, you are moving forward.
And remember, you do not have to be perfect. You just have to keep going.
Keep talking, keep trying, keep showing up. That's how you grow.
I am James.
I'm Emma.
And this has been Mr. English Podcast.
See you next time. Take care of yourself and keep talking about yesterday, because every yesterday makes your English stronger.
Bye for now.
Bye.